Meet Griffin, a 15-year-old who managed to pocket over $60,000 in under 2 hours. But this isn't your typical heist story. In fact, calling it theft might not even be the right word. Griffin didn't crack a bank vault or hack into a secure system. Instead, he employed a far more calculated and deceptive strategy, profiting from meme coins. His bold plan not only enraged investors but also sent shockwaves through the online crypto community. What makes this story so astonishing isn't just the sheer amount of money or the speed at which he made it, but the method he used to pull it off. Griffin launched his own meme coins and streamed the entire process live, closely observing as people rushed to buy them. As a result, investors who saw their money vanish labeled him a fraud, while members of the crypto world went as far as exposing his and his family's personal information. This is the story of how a 15-year-old outwitted the internet, flipping the system to his advantage and walking away with over $60,000 in record time.
And those.
Yeah, he did.
Yo, 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 yo.
Griffin always had a business-like mindset. From an early age, he was always searching for opportunities to earn money quickly. He initially ventured into reselling sneakers, which were highly sought after at the time. However, as the market became oversaturated, opportunities dwindled, and Griffin soon realized it was no longer a viable option. Determined to find a new way to make money, he kept searching. That's when a friend introduced him to cryptocurrency, specifically meme coins. His friend had already made money trading these digital assets and explained how they could generate quick profits. Intrigued by the potential, Griffin decided to dive in, unaware that this decision would ultimately earn him notoriety in the world of cryptocurrency. Griffin's journey into the world of meme coins began 9 months ago. On April 1st, he created his first Phantom wallet, a fully decentralized crypto wallet that gives its owner full control over funds without relying on a bank. This allows you to send, receive, and store digital assets, as well as trade meme coins on the Solana blockchain, a fast and inexpensive blockchain ideal for trading meme coins. After preparing the wallet, Griffin replenished it with $25 and made his first investment in a token called LeBron James. This coin belonged to a certain trend in the world of meme coins. The most famous and influential dog theme is inspired by Dogecoin, the first meme coin created in 2013, based on a viral dog meme. Dogecoin remains the largest meme coin by market value, peaking at $25 billion as of March 2025. His success has inspired a whole wave of dog-themed coins, making this trend one of the most popular in cryptocurrency. Today, 5 of the 10 largest meme coins by market capitalization are associated with dogs. Shiba Inu ranks second, followed by Bonk, WWIF, and others. In April 2024, the deliberate misspelling of celebrities' names became a new trend. This meta has become popular because of coins such as Joe Biden, market value $750 million, and Dolan Trump, $166 million. This was followed by a slew of other celebrity-inspired tokens, including LeBron James, which caught Griffin's attention. At that time, the coin's market capitalization was about $130,000. Griffin invested all his $25 into it, and soon the price started to rise. The market capitalization reached $160,000, and he saw great potential in it. Encouraged by his success, he replenished his wallet with another $190 and invested an additional $23, bringing the total investment to $44. 2 hours later, Griffin's bet paid off. His $44 investment has grown to $94. He has more than doubled his money in a short period of time. It was a turning point for him. It was the first time he realized the potential of meme coins, and everything his friend had told him about the world of cryptocurrencies seemed to be true. Encouraged by the success, he decided not to sell or take profits. Instead, he reinvested the funds by buying another $91 worth of coin, increasing the total investment from $44 to $135. 7 hours later, the coin's market value exceeded $580,000. And his invested $135 was now worth $374. It was a huge win for Griffin. He earned $239 but was still not ready to sell, hoping for further growth. After making sure that the coin would continue to grow, Griffin doubled his funds again, investing another $218 and bringing the total investment to $353. Now he has invested 100% of his money in this coin, which was a risky move. If the coin had not performed well, he could have lost everything. In investing, it is common to diversify a portfolio by distributing investments across multiple assets, whether cryptocurrencies or stocks. This strategy reduces the risks associated with dependence on a single asset. Griffin quickly realized the danger of his decision and decided to withdraw the last investment of $218, leaving only the initial investment in the coin. He continued to hold his tokens, hoping that the price would rise and he would be able to earn even more money. But he didn't know yet that disaster was just around the corner. Exactly 19 hours later, the development team behind the coin announced its closure and sold off its entire supply of tokens. This caused the coin's market capitalization to drop almost instantly from $400,000 to $10,000. It was a disaster for Griffin. By the time he realized what had happened, his coins were almost worthless. In a desperate attempt to rectify the situation, he sold all his tokens for just $16. Having invested a total of $135 in the coin, he received only $16, losing $119. This was his first real experience of encountering the harsh reality of meme coins. He had the opportunity to sell the coin with a profit of $230, but greed and inexperience got the better of him. Despite the fact that his first experience with meme coins ended in disaster, Griffin was not ready to give up. The idea of making millions was still burning in his mind. Despite losing $119 on his first trade, he decided to continue. Over the next few months, Griffin delved deeper into the chaotic world of meme coins, making dozens of trades. He bought tokens with names like Stoner, Riz, and Cheeks, often choosing coins solely based on the hype around them. Although some trades brought him a small profit, $4, $10, or even $31, most of them ended in losses. Griffin quickly realized that the meme coin market was unstable and unfair. By the time his first wallet was empty, he had already deposited $1,300 into it and lost everything. It was a crushing setback, but his belief in the dream of getting rich with the help of meme coins haunted him. This is the reason why so many people lose their money but continue to buy meme coins. They are forced to believe in the dream of millions of dollars in income, even after repeated losses. The hope of a large jackpot makes them come back, convincing themselves that the next coin will definitely be successful. Griffin was no exception. Despite losing a significant amount, he still believed that wealth was just one good deal, and he was not ready to give up. Wanting to start over, he created a new wallet. He transferred the few remaining coins he had, deposited more money, and started trading again. This time, he was confident that his growing experience would help him succeed. For the next 4 months, Griffin continued to trade, believing that he had solved the code. But the result told a different story. Although he made several profitable trades, the losses far exceeded the gains. In total, he deposited $1,900 into his second wallet and lost it all for the second time. By this point, Griffin had lost $3,300. He began to give up, and he began to doubt everything. Is it even possible to make money using meme coins? Was the dream that was sold to him a scam from the very beginning? All this time, Griffin was trading meme coins created and launched by other people. Then he realized that the developers created these coins not so that investors like him could make a profit, but in order to make money for themselves. The developers behind these coins took advantage of people like Griffin. They launched the coin, created a buzz around it, and as soon as enough people bought it and raised the price, they closed the project, leaving everyone with nothing, and they left with their profits. There are a lot of scammers in this area. As people got tired of the constant deceptions, their interest in buying meme coins began to fade, which led to the decline of the meme coin market. Around the same time, Pump.Fun services began to gain popularity in the meme coin world. Pump.Fun is a platform where anyone can trade or launch their own coin for just $3. Before the advent of Pump.Fun, creating and launching meme coins were expensive and complex processes. Ordinary investors didn't have the opportunity to create their own coins. Only a few had the skills and resources to do so. When the Pump platform was launched in January 2024, this was a turning point in the game. When you create a meme coin, you have the opportunity to invest in it before releasing it to the public. Being the very first investor, it was possible to purchase a huge number of tokens at incredibly low prices. As soon as others started buying and pumping the coin, its creators dumped their token holdings with huge profits, bringing down the chart. Griffin has been victimized time and time again by developers who use the hype to get rich. There were a lot of scammers in the meme coin space, and it seemed to him that it was impossible to find a truly honest and fair project. But then he had an idea. What if you create your own coin? He thought. Not as a scam, but as a real project. Griffin believed that if he launched the coin and proved that it was not a scam, people would trust him. The project would be able to gain popularity, and its market capitalization would reach millions of dollars. For the first time, he saw an opportunity to change his role in this area. Griffin was no longer just a trader. He was ready to enter the world of meme coin development. Griffin documenting the creation of his first project, Kid on Solana. The plan for this project was simple. First, launch the coin, use the remaining money to buy some tokens, convince people that this is not a scam so that they can start buying, and then, when the coin reaches a market value of $10 million, withdraw some of the profits. I'm just saving money so that we reach a market capitalization of $10 million. What will you do in 10 years? I'm going to take some money, maybe buy a couple of things. What's the first thing you're going to buy? Tell us what you're going to buy. I'm 15, so I'll buy a car in a year. And so he did. Griffin had $22 left in his wallet, and on September 10th, 2024, he launched the Kid Solana project on Pump.fun. At first, everything went slowly, but after an hour and a half, the coin reached a market value of $55,000 and successfully switched to Raydium. Then, things only got better. The project began to gain popularity on social media as people became imbued with Griffin's story and the unique concept behind the coin. Within 5 hours, the market value of the coin reached $250,000, and just 12 hours later, it approached $500,000. For Griffin, it felt like a long-awaited breakthrough. If the coin continues to grow at this rate, then soon its market value will reach $10 million, and he will not only get back all the lost money, but also be able to buy himself a new car. However, success in the meme coin market is never guaranteed. The excitement that these projects generate can be as unpredictable as the market itself. Over the next 24 hours, the value of the coin steadily declined. As a result, its market value dropped to $85,000. It was a significant drop, but Griffin wasn't ready to give up. Hoping to make a difference, he joined 4 different spaces, passionately sharing his story and promoting his coin to attract more investors. How are you, brother? All right, brother. Anyway, I'm the developer of Kid on Solana, and I've invested my last $20 in it. You already know how I lost all my money. I want to thank both of you, Kid and Walter, for letting me come to the show. I want to keep the coin at least up to $10 or $20 million of market capitalization. This step turned out to be his best decision. People liked his efforts and wanted to help him succeed. The market value of the coin has skyrocketed from $85,000 to $340,000. But the hype didn't last long. After reaching the peak, the growth stopped, and the price began to fall again. Griffin did everything possible to save the project. He even invested more of his own money into buying tokens to demonstrate his interest. But nothing helped. 15 days after the launch, the coin reached the bottom. Its market value was only $88,000. Resigned to defeat, Griffin sold all his tokens for just $71. Not only could he not make money, but he also lost money on his own project. He invested $224 in it, but received only $71, losing $153. At this stage, a turning point came for Griffin. He invested months of time and thousands of dollars in meme coins, but he only saw failure after failure. Thoughts began to come to his mind about leaving cryptocurrencies altogether, but the idea of leaving empty-handed was unacceptable to him. He had lost so much that he couldn't just give up without a fight. That's when he decided to take a closer look at Kid on Solana. Perhaps it was his mistakes that caused the coin to fail. If he can figure out where he went wrong, he will have a chance to cope and make everything work next time. Looking back at the transaction charts of his wallet, Griffin noticed that he had completely overlooked one important detail. At the peak of the coin's exchange rate, the tokens he bought for just $17 were worth $2,200. This realization hit him like a lightning bolt. If he had sold them at the peak, he could have made $2,183 in profit. which was almost 130 times his investment. Griffin started thinking, what if I had invested more? If he had invested $100 instead of $17, he could have received $13,000. It was a wake-up call. Not only could he get back everything he had lost, but he could also make a huge profit. At that moment, all his views on meme coins changed. He no longer considered himself a victim of the system. Instead, he decided to play the same game that was used against him. If developers could make a profit by taking advantage of others, why can't he do the same? With these thoughts in mind, Griffin developed a new plan. This time, he wasn't going to wait for the market value to reach $10 million. He was going to launch another coin and make a profit as soon as the price rose. On November 20th, he launched his second meme coin, Gen Z Quant. This time, he had a new strategy. He bought $353 worth of tokens for himself, making sure he had a good amount before the price rose, and began broadcasting live on Pump.fun to promote the coin and communicate with the audience. His energy and manner of communicating with the audience quickly attracted people's attention. Within a few minutes, the coin began to gain momentum. 5 minutes after the launch, the project switched to Raydium, and the next minute, its market value increased to almost $2 million. After watching his balance grow to almost $30,000, Griffin wasted no time and sold all his tokens, making a profit of $29,586.
Yo!
Clips of Griffin celebrating as he cashes out spread across the internet, putting him in the spotlight. Griffin knew that all the attention was on him now and he wasn't going to stop. Just 7 minutes later, he launched another coin with the sarcastic name I'm Sorry, as if apologizing for bringing down the previous one. But his intentions haven't changed. He followed the same plan. He bought tokens for $353, launched them on Pump.fun, and waited for them to start growing in value. Within 5 minutes, the coin reached a market capitalization of $500,000, and Griffin sold all his tokens in one transaction, making a profit of $12,000. By this point, Griffin had launched 2 coins in just 15 minutes and sold them both, making a total profit of $42,000. Of course, he had already finished, and people should have learned their lesson, right? Just 5 minutes later, he launched another coin, this time naming it after his dog Lucy, My Dog Lucy. Following the already familiar pattern, Griffin bought tokens for $353, launched a stream, this time with Lucy the dog, and waited for the hype to rise. The coin soared to the $1 million mark, and Griffin sold all his tokens for a profit of $19,576. In just 36 minutes, Griffin launched 3 coins, sold them all, and earned $61,800. Meanwhile, the internet was going crazy. Griffin's face was all over X social media. Everyone was furious, accusing him of cheating. The reaction reached its peak when the crypto community decided to punish Griffin by buying quant tokens in order to increase their value and make him regret his choice. 20 minutes after Griffin sold all his assets, the coin's market capitalization reached $15 million. If Griffin had held back and not sold, his tokens would have been worth $76 million. Realizing the missed opportunity, Griffin decided to try again. He launched his 5th coin, again calling it Gen Z Quant. Griffin bought $235 worth of tokens and launched them on the Pump.fun website. This time, he falsely claimed that he was not the one who launched the first Quant coin and blamed other developers with whom he allegedly collaborated, saying that they still hold most of the token reserves. Griffin's goal was clear. He wanted to jeopardize the original Quant coin he created, which reached a market capitalization of $15 million, encouraging people to sell their assets and buy his new real version, so that he could cheat them again and earn even more money. To regain trust, Griffin burned 5 million of his tokens, presenting this as proof of his good intentions. This time, he expected to be more patient, planning to wait until the coin reached a market value of at least $10 million before selling it. However, everything did not go as planned. The peak of the coin's exchange rate was around $500,000, which was far from his goal. When the value dropped to $63,000, Griffin sold all his tokens. Despite the fact that everything did not go according to plan, he still made a profit, namely $1,645. In less than 2 hours, Griffin earned almost $64,000 on his coins. Not only did he get back all the money he had previously lost, but he also received more than enough money to buy the car he dreamed of. But the story didn't end there. Griffin's first Quant coin became the center of attention on the X website, formerly Twitter. Just 3 hours after Griffin sold all his tokens, the market value of the coin soared to a record high of $83 million. If he hadn't sold his tokens, they would have been worth $4.2 million, and of course the reality turned out to be more complicated. The coin might not have reached such heights if Griffin hadn't staged a live broadcast. This moment of madness turned Quant into a meme, and the crypto community picked it up, artificially inflating the coin as a joke so that Griffin regretted selling it too early. However, as with most other meme coins, the hype didn't last forever. 8 days later, the market value of the coin dropped to $1 million as interest subsided and investors switched to other projects. This chain of events raises an important question. Why do people invest their money in such risky meme coins? And why do they keep buying Griffin's tokens, even after he has repeatedly deceived them? The answer lies in the culture of memes. These coins are not like Bitcoin or Ethereum, where value is created through real-world use or complex systems such as mining. Meme coins exist thanks to hype, humor, and attention. We live in an economy where people's attention can be quickly turned into money. It forces people to do their best to stand out and attract attention. Memes themselves become popular because people find them funny. They spread on the internet and attract everyone's attention. Meme coins, in turn, go further, turning this humor and attention into market value that people can invest in. If investors believe that the meme will become popular enough to attract more buyers, they invest in the coin in the hope of selling it later at a higher price and making a profit. The Griffin situation is a perfect example of this. He attracted people's attention by showing himself to be funny and charismatic, which led to massive purchases of his coins. This gave Griffin the opportunity to cheat people and get away with a significant profit. Then the crypto community decided that the next funny thing they could do was to buy up as many tokens as possible to raise the value of the coin as revenge, knowing that this would make Griffin regret the early sale, as his tokens would have been worth much more. This is how most meme coins work, on humor, hype, and trolling. Everyone who invests money in these coins is essentially betting that others will join the game after him, raise the price, and then he will be able to sell them at a higher value and walk away with a profit. But the harsh reality of meme coins is that while money is spinning, no real value is being created. Griffin earned $64,000, but what did he actually learn? And what did it produce? Meme coins are more like gambling than investments. People do not exchange valuables, but simply spend money in the hope of winning. It's a fascinating but fragile system. Although this space may seem interesting and exciting, it is completely dependent on hype, and as soon as he disappears, the money disappears.